Hello, hello.
Oh,
Hello, everyone.
hello.
We're back.
Oh, can you turn your share screen so I can see in real time?
You're completely right, and I completely
It's
forgot.
okay. It's just easier that way if you're like, oh, what do you think of this? And I don't have to wait
Oh
a
yeah.
few seconds for it to
Oh,
pop up and be like,
you got addicted to that.
yeah, being able to see the thing in real time is super useful for me
Oh yeah, it is. It is. It's like,
to
oh,
like give actual
are
feedback.
you? How do you think about this side or that side? It's like, dude, what?
Hold,
Which one?
hold on, you didn't do it on my screen yet. Wait.
Wait, how much is it? Like 30 seconds? 2 seconds? How much? I'm lost.
Wait, on my screen, you're still opening the file. Wait, what? Also, hello, King Greed. He was here early and
Oh
said
yeah.
hello. He said, there he is. It's Cool Cat. Which is a
I
reference, I assume, to the Cool Cat movie,
I
which was
think I'm
absurd.
gonna have to give him the keys so he can open the place earlier for us because he's earlier than anyone.
He's going to become stream manager if he keeps that up.
Yeah. Keep that attitude, boy. We're gonna get a race.
But yeah, oh gosh, the thing we were talking about before, I don't know how much you've heard about what's going on with the Diablo Immortal game.
No, not much. I heard
Not
something
much.
Diablo's going on, and that was it.
Well, the actual gameplay of the game is apparently super good, but the thing that's causing a lot of problems is how pay to win it is,
Oh,
and it's pay to win in the worst way. And I play games that have pay stuff. Like I play Genshin Impact, and that has a pay system. But the stuff like Josh Strife Hayes did an excellent discussion of it. He posted it like yesterday. Uh, but he was talking about all of the systems in it that are demanding money from you, and not even going into all of the different ones. Oh, Raphael Juba 3D says, oh, I'm gonna butcher that if I try to say it. It's not in English.
do it, do it, do it, do it. Do
It
it.
says muy buenas artistas.
Yeah, you did great. Come on.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
rip the sentence.
now you can go to Taco Bell and argue with the people in the kitchen.
Just shout the word taco
Oh
a
yeah,
whole bunch of times
we win our
until
fan.
eventually I get what I want. Oh, he gave me a thumbs up.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yay!
it's because I was in a stream earlier today. Actually, I was 4 hours in a stream. my friend Sergio, who is actually my teacher in the character artist course, he was streaming today,
You told me about that.
and we were chatting there. We were having a lot of fun, and a lot of people followed me from there to here.
Oh, that's great.
So let's hope they're not disappointed.
No, you're a great artist. I doubt
Oh,
that they would be disappointed.
well, it's about being an entertainer here too, artist
Yeah.
perhaps.
Well, it's a lot easier when you have a second person. That's one of the difficult things about like recording Let's Plays too. Is
Yeah.
some of the games that I've done, I've been sitting there. I'm like, wow, whole lot of nothing be happening right now. What on earth can I talk about? Oh God.
Oh yeah. I
Oh.
don't know what to do when you're not here. Honestly, I get lost. It's like, what will Alex do?
What would Alex do? Mm, should probably talk about anime. Shit, I don't watch that.
Genshin Impact. Shit. I
don't play that either. Damn it. King
raccoons
Greed.
in the backyard. Damn it! I don't have those either.
King Greed says, "Hey, now I'm back. How's it going? It's going good. Hope it's going well for you too."
And how are you doing, guys? What's the day for you?
How was your day? I got up early to help my mom go to a doctor's appointment she had because they needed another person to be able to drive, just in case she was dizzy when it was done. And so I am tired, but I'm still here.
Because
I'm
you
just
know,
gonna
guys,
be
Alex has
slightly.
a heart of gold.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you do. Come on.
I like doing these
You put
things.
up with my stuff. Yeah. And we barely know each other.
We may not have known each other for long, but I know a good person when I meet them.
Oh.
I've met enough people who were gigantic red flags that I can now spot them from far away, and I have
So
not seen any with you. So I
you
think
have
you're
like
good.
one of those counters. Okay, bad, bad, bad. This one has to be good, you know. Can't be that bad, right?
Oh God, I can tell you tales about awful people that I've met, and you've been like, "Whoa!" You'd be like, "Wow, when it was done, how did you not know?" And like, because they don't act that way at first. Raphael says, "Octopus girl."
Sis.e, may you please talk about the character?
Yes. This character is one of the creatures from the comic that I'm working on. She has not appeared in it yet, but she's one of the designs I did during Monstober a couple years back. Because sadly, there wasn't one last year. Boo. And she's one of the designs I did during that. The theme was space, and I wanted to make something a little, like simple, at least for me. I tend to do very complicated designs, but something fairly simple, but with like an interesting twist on it. And the name that we gave her, or my friend Pat gave her, Sus.e, was because her head. Oh, there's the design. Reminded him of Among Us. And he's not entirely wrong, because the inspiration for her helmet actually did come from a thumbnail that a Let's Player I follow had for the game Among Us. So I saw it and I went, "Oh, that's funky," and used it as my inspiration for her hat, and everything just kind of went from there. But
We
I'm
have
also
some key characteristics here.
she has a little laser beam.
Yep.
She will use her tendril braids to try and get far away, and if she is forced into close combat, she will beat the ever-loving snot out of you with them.
And I can tell that she does some pole dancing on the side, right?
If you can call turning yourself into a, well, I guess not human, into a living, what is it called, morning star, then yes.
Well, you'd be surprised of the games I played that include that mechanic.
Oh yeah, there's a character in Overwatch that does that, isn't there? It's Hammond. I don't know if you play Overwatch.
Well,
but
no, I have not played Overwatch.
There
Okay.
are characters in games like that.
I go my corner of shame. I feel insulted.
No, it's okay. I don't play Overwatch anymore either. Eventually, I got very frustrated. I don't like how the matching system works.
Yeah,
I think it's not. Yeah, I think it's not really fair to.
No, I was talking about
players.
games like Bayonetta, that she does this
I
kind of
have not
moves.
got to play that because I don't own the system it's on, and they won't move it to PC.
It's on PC.
Oh, it is on PC?
Yeah, you can.
When did
play
that happen?
Like 2 years ago.
How did I not know about this?
It's on Steam. Yeah, you can get it quite cheap.
Well, shit. I guess that has to go on my list now. When it first came out, I kept having discussions with my friend. I'm like, why is this way? Why is this game like this? Because she'll do a backflip and all her clothes come off. What's with this nonsense?
You'll see once you play, and I tell you that you love it.
Yeah, well, the more I heard about it from my friends, and the more I saw of it, I was like, oh, okay, I see. This is one of these instances where it's over the top for the sake of over the top.
Yes, it's completely over the top.
Yeah, and the female, the design for the character was made by a female concept artist.
Yeah.
Who I think is also into girls, if her comments on Lady Dimitrescu on Twitter indicate anything. But when they said, "Oh, can you make like an over the top, sexy character?" She went, "Oh boy, can I!" And made Bayonetta.
Yeah, and honestly, I love that. Give the girls that option to feel empowered that way.
Yeah, well,
Well,
when people
no.
started comparing it to like Devil May Cry, like Dante and Devil May Cry, and I took a
Which,
look at that, I was like, oh, I see what you mean.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
perfect. Makes perfect sense because it was made by the same people.
yeah.
Same people that were behind it was Team Little Angels, and that was part of. I forgot the name of the studio.
Oh,
It's
I'm so terrible with studio names.
well, it's the same guys that created Devil May Cry, the original ones, and they created
Yeah.
fighting styles and mechanics. And Hideki Kamiya, who was also working on Devil May Cry, he was
Mhm.
there as the director. And then the same guys worked at Metal Gear Racing. And
Oh yeah, and that's why that game's kind of a little bit like I say batshit, but I don't mean it in like a bad way. I mean like that game is fucking out there
oh yeah,
in a fun way.
they do that kind of games. That's their thing,
Hmm.
and I love
Yeah,
them.
those
I love them.
kinds of games I give like normal elements that might be irritating, like oh the of course the female character does is wearing a tiny little skirt and she does a high kick and you see her undies. I give games that are just being absurd more like way more of a
Mm.
pass. Um,
Well,
or games in which it's have like what's the phrase I want? It's not about it being bad to drop trow. It's that if you're gonna drop trow, then everybody has to, not
yeah,
just the female lead walking around in like little tiny hot pants and a fishnet top and barely anything. If she's doing that, then you have to have the guys do that too, because it's only fair.
yeah, and they completely did it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
you have met Sus.e, but are you guys to meet another guy? You know
is
who
it
I'm
the
talking
guy?
about.
King greets. Oh, jeez, this guy from your stream a couple days ago, right? That was from Tuesday.
Oh yes.
Oh God, King Greed says Metal Gear Rising Revengeance gave a Senator Armstrong meme for 2022. You are correct. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is probably my favorite Metal Gear game because that game went from 0 to 180 in about 2 seconds.
And predict the history.
It did. It didn't mean to, but it did.
that's, that's just great, you know.
Nano machines. Bug.
Nanomachine, son.
Yeah,
And
I knew the game was going to be great when I was watching. Actually, I was watching before the team broke up. Sadly, uh, the gaming group Super Best Friends played it, and I knew it was going to be fantastic because about 3 seconds in, one of them said, "Attack that cat on the beach." I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to stab the cat." He's like, "No, for real, try." And the cat just ninja backflips out of the way every time you try to slash it.
the emphasis on try because you can't.
Yeah, you cannot hit this cat. It is impossible.
And the cat casually walks away. It's like, eh,
Yeah, whatever.
you're
Try again, loser.
100 years too young to try.
Right. Come back and try again when you have skill. I think Pat was playing that game, and I think that he actually tried using the bullet time slashing mechanic to slash the cat, and you cannot do it. It will not let you. The cat will dodge everything. It cannot be done.
Yes, I love that kind of details. You know,
I know. That's actually one of the things that I both love and also feel bad about in Genshin. Is there is an island in the new area that has a place called the Cat Shrine. I forget what it's actually called. It's the Cat Shrine. And when you go there, the cat that runs the shrine, and it does talk. And yes, that's weird in universe too. So it's not just like, oh, cats talk in this world. And sometimes she will ask you to clean the grounds, and the game wants you to use the wind elemental powers of your characters to do it. The problem is that there are cats everywhere, and much like in Metal Gear, if you try to attack them or you set something off near them, they will backflip out of the way. But when things hop up in the air, the animo element pulls them towards you. So I sometimes I will charge up the air attack to blow the dirt away, and the poor cat will just get yanked up off the ground, and it'll be like freaking out, and you're going yeah, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And then you release the charge, and the cat just goes across the grass, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, kitty, I didn't mean to do it.
And if you cannot tell, Alex loves animal. She could not hurt a fly.
I don't. There have been well, I hit a raccoon once. I felt so bad about that. I actually pulled over and cried on the side of the road when I hit the raccoon.
But you can always tell that was self-defense. Come on.
I had to protect my car from a raccoon. Yeah.
Come on, isn't that what Americans do with the cars? You know, they love them over everything else. You know.
I would rather the car have broken down than the raccoon, but I mean, I didn't get a say. It popped out of the bushes, and it was too late.
Imagine if the raccoon broke the car, but the raccoon was intact.
Oof. I actually probably would have I would have been like, wow, if that happened. That does happen with some animals, like with some deer and some moose. If a moose hits your car, the moose is the one that walks away.
Yeah.
If a truck hits the moose, then neither of them walk away. But your car will not survive hitting a moose.
Well, maybe if the moose is just pissed off.
Just punts your car off the road into a ditch. There are some moose that will. Like, I know that in some places moose are fairly docile, but at least here in North America, people are strongly advised to not go near moose, especially female moose. I do not know why, but female moose have like a real agenda for just screwing you up if you are near them. I do not know why they hate us so much, but they really do. To the point that I have heard stories of like female moose that have just come out of nowhere and gone after people. They'd be like, oh yeah, it was just my backyard, and all of a sudden I hear something tromping through the bushes, and lo and behold, it's a moose. And it was not happy to see me. Ooh, is this going to be her grand?
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna use a non-destructive method. I'm gonna use booleans for this.
Oh, cool.
So I'm gonna show you how to use booleans.
Please do. So I can use it in the future.
Yes. Oh, and you know what you have to do? You have to slap your socials right now so people can follow you.
Let me go fetch them.
Because guys, today it's her debut on Twitch.
Oh yeah.
But not here, later on her own.
Yes, on my own channel. It has been so long since I used Twitch that the last time I used Twitch, it was still just in TV. That's how long ago I streamed. Here then go, wow, you're old. I'm like, yeah, I am.
It's like just a few minutes ago, I was discussing with a guy, but oh yeah, people still do stuff with 2B, and it has been so long. It's like, no, that was 2017. That's only 5 years ago. For fandom, that's not long.
Yeah, for fandom, that's not long.
Yeah,
although there are like, I guess you'd call it maybe like a micro fandom. Here's all the links, and yeah, I can't do anything about the format. I'm sorry. The stream will not let me do anything about it.
Oh, don't worry.
I completely lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. This is what happens when you have me get up early in the morning. I do not retain information. But yeah, there'll be like micro fandoms that pop up for a little while, like when the Invader Zim movie came out, and that fandom crawled up out of the grave and went, "Hi guys, do you remember me?"
Because I remember what you did to me.
Actually, that one might not be a great example because it's still alive and kicking. I still see a lot of stuff on my various feeds from people who are discussing that particular fandom. So that's always good to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, like every time a new superhero movie comes out, that particular superhero's fandom pops up and goes, I remember this. So that's
Okay,
good.
so the basic here.
Mm. Oh,
Okay.
it looks like a fancy mustache from this angle.
We are.
Oh,
Sorry,
bonjour, you ass!
sorry if there's any French around.
I'm sorry, that's from a meme. I don't even know where the audio came from, but it's a game character's VA who just I don't know went on some kind of strange rant about France. And one of the things he shouts is "Oh ha ha! Bonjour, you ass!" And just hearing it come out of nowhere made me laugh really hard. Oh, Beavis and Butthead are also coming back. I heard rumors, but I had not heard confirmation. That's so wild to me. That show was old even when I was young.
Oh yeah.
That was like the thing that as a kid you were like secretly trying to go watch it on like MTV or something.
Yeah, that was all even for me, and I'm ancient. You know, I'm not old, I'm ancient.
Prehistoric.
Well, prehistoric.
I'm kidding.
Okay, fine. I was there when they were writing the first 2 pages. So, you know, someone had to do it. It's like
It's all good.
they,
I don't actually think we're too far off in age.
no, I'm 37, so you're like
Yeah, you're
4
only
years
you're only
younger than
3
me.
years.
3, 4.
Yeah, I'm 30. I'm 34.
Yeah.
So I'm only 3 years.
So this is how you do it, guys. You don't ask correctly a woman her age. You just point yours and estimate the other ones. You know. This way you avoid the first missile, but you'll get hit by the second one. Don't worry, you'll get hit.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better. Oh, Paramount Plus is doing it. Paramount's been like resuscitating a lot of old shows. I guess they're riding that nostalgia train.
Oh yes, they are.
Yeah. But if it makes you feel any better, I keep getting my mom's age wrong. So every time I turn to her, I'm like, wait, how old are you, Mom? She gets all mad at me, and I'm like, man, I don't care how old you are. I'm just asking because I don't remember because I suck. Or at least my memory does.
Oh, but it's that meme of no, you don't ask a woman her age. It's like, come on, really?
Ah, King Greed says that he is 26.
Oh, he's one of the younglings. You know, somehow it bothers me that some of my friends that are my age, and I mean people that were in my class for all my life, that we grew up together. One of them is going through his third divorce.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
Yeah, another one has like 5 kids already.
Holy cow, that is a lot of children.
And most of them have kids or a divorce or 2. It's like, what am I doing with
Wow,
my
I
life?
haven't even had one marriage or one child. Not for lack of trying, just not in a good position to make that happen currently.
You know, that argument can lead to a lot of dirty jokes.
Yes, it can. I know. I walked into that one. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
I meant more the chat. I figured if you were going to do it, you'd just do it regardless.
Oh, I'll do it, but you know I'll do it later in one of those armor-piercing jokes.
Oh my god.
Okay, so what I'm doing here, for those interested, if anyone is, I know you guys come here for Alex. I know she's the cool part. But yeah, so I created a plane. Then I'm using a solidify modifier to give the plane some thickness. In this case, let's begin with this. Now I'm going to switch the visibility of this so I can see better. So I go to object and then display as wire. So now it's just visible as a wire. So now I want to use this piece to cut a hole into the other one. So
I keep forgetting that I can just change one piece's setting and not all of them. I really need to do that every time I'm trying to like stick 2 pieces together. And I'm like, wait, I can't see it anymore because this is annoying.
Oh, well,
just make that one transparent, Alex. Well,
you can, but you don't have to. It's just the way I work.
Oh, it would be much easier for me. That's why I was like, oh yeah, you can do that. Shit, I didn't remember at all.
Don't worry. Okay, so I'll add a boolean modifier to the helmet in this case because it's the one receiving the cat. Okay,
Mhm.
because the booleans work that way. One receives and the other one is the target. So the operation type, it's going to be difference. The object, it's going to be this one. And as you can see,
Oh,
it does
there it
that.
is.
And the best part of this being non-destructive is that, yeah, maybe this is a bit too high. Let's take it lower.
Oh, and you can just tweak it however you want. That's
Yes. This is what it's called non-destructive. Because you're not destroying the geometry of the original one.
Oh, that's so useful because if you change your mind later, you don't have to sit there and go, shit, how do I fix this now?
Exactly. That's the whole point of this.
I'm learning
So
so many cool tips and tricks.
I like to share what I know. I learned this from someone else, and I like to do the same thing for others because the community taught me a lot, and I have learned so much from so many people that I would like to give back at least some.
It's a good policy to have.
Thank you. No, I don't look just like a douche that he's bragging. Oh, I know how to do this. You know.
King Greed says, hey, that's not fair. I was here every day in the stream. And then he has an angry Paimon icon shaking her fist at us.
He has been along with me every single day. He's a real trooper. You know, it's like when I was streaming on Monday, he was here. When I was streaming on Tuesday, he was here. Wednesday, he was here. And
Yeah,
I
we
bet
can't
on
take away
Thursday he was
achievement.
feeling, something's missing.
Oh yeah, there's no stream today.
Like, I feel
Can't in the
empty.
chat, dang.
Yeah.
I can't take his achievement away from him. He has been here, and I am only here Friday.
And I hope King Great at least checks out Alex's stream. You know, you have to be there at least to say hi.
Thank you. I should get that link too, because I have that.
Yes. You are gonna have to slap all your socials.
More than once, yes.
Oh yeah.
Here is where I will be. I was so pleased to learn that you can change not only your name but your URL because I was like, man, I don't like the old name I had.
And
I'm like, do I have to start a new? Oh, thank you. Do I have to start a whole new one? I guess I could do that. And then it was like, no, you can just go change your name as long as you don't do it more than every 60 days. And I'm like, oh, sign me up then.
Oh, and this is a funny thing. So, we talk about this non-destructive approach. And the modifiers allow you to do different operations on the meshes.
Oh.
So in this case, I applied the boolean first. So it's first the cut, and then it does the subdivision surface. So that will mean it's cutting first and making this hole, and then it's applying subdivision to those lines. So it looks like this. But if I change the order, it looks like this.
With like a little wall in the back.
Well, it's not exactly that. It's because it has more polygons, so the cut can be a bit cleaner.
Yeah.
And keep the shape of the cut better than before, because before there was less geometry, so the cut was rougher.
Yeah, and with the subdivision, instead of just having a big hollow inside of the head, now there's like a space behind it.
Yep.
Behind the teeth.
And this is a make it pretty button. So if you go here to the object data properties and go to normals, then you hit auto smooth. That will fix a lot of the issues. Like these shading artifacts and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You can fix it, bonk, with a single button. Okay, so you remember that I had solidify modifier to make this thicker, you know,
Mhm.
because everything needs to be done with the thickness. Ooh, the Storbit theme song. So what I want to do now is to make these corners a bit corner, you know, not like that.
I like more
So
pointy.
yeah, I can do it in two different ways. I could add one more edge loop with, let's see, Control R, and move the mouse until it's in the position where I want the loop cut. So in this case, it will be here. I click, right click, and there's the loop cut. So if I now switch to edge selection mode and move this, you see that now it's a bit pointier. This could be what we want, but it's not exactly looking good. So we will go back, Control Z, and this is why I love the non-destructive approach, because it's like I'm not so convinced about how that looks. So let's do it a different way. So in this case, I'm going to merge these two vertices.
Oh, and then it'll turn into like a little point.
Yeah. So at center. So select them two. Hit M on the keyboard. Merge at center. And you see now it's pointy.
Aha!
And if you don't want to use the shortcut, you select them. By the way, selecting different ones is you left click one, hold shift, and click the other one. You can select more this way, just like in Windows. Or
And what's nice is if you grab more than like when you didn't mean to, you just click it again and it'll deselect that one.
exactly. You see, she knows this stuff.
I do remember that.
Or you can just drag and drop and select them.
Mhm.
So if I right click and I go to merge vertices, I can say, yeah, let's merge them up center. Boom, there we go. For those that didn't see, right click, down to merge vertices, and then we can merge them at center, at cursor, collapse, or by distance. You choose the one that works for you better in each case. Mostly it's at center that works best, because most of the times we're doing symmetrical things, all things that need to be centered around something. And for those that are smart, you can see that you have an M here. That's the shortcut. So you don't even have to learn the shortcuts. You can just look at them. It's like, oh, I'm doing this operation like 20 times in a row. So I'll just hit M to do the same thing.
Yeah, and if you forget, you can just see it the next time you click the menu.
Yeah.
It's
And
like, oh,
those
yeah,
same menus are here. So in this case, the operations for vertices are here. The operations for edges are here. Faces, for the mesh, they're all there. So you don't have to learn any shortcuts if you don't want to. And that's a true beauty of Blender. You learn just what you need.
Mhm. It's great for somebody like me who constantly forgets them. There's only a few that I remember, like G for grab. That's kind of the only one that I remember because I use it constantly. But then every time it's like, okay, time to use a different function, I pause and like, wait, I know this. What is it? Oh, I don't remember the key. Presses a key, something completely different happens. Like, oh, didn't want that. Undo.
I'm gonna try. Let's see if I can add a bevel to make the edges a bit softer. Let's say bevel modifier, and let's see. Let's do a couple segments. So now we are getting some artifacts here. That's to be expected. And we play with the distance. Sometimes you see that it comes and goes with the distance. Yeah, in this case the bevel is not helping here because yeah, there
Yeah, it looks like it's just making a little triangle.
it's too many operations right now. I will have to apply for the bevel to work properly. And you know, another thing that it's good is that I have these two buttons here. So if I select this and hit export, it's gonna do its thing, and boom, I have it in ZBrush.
Hooray! So now you can move it all around or soften the edges yourself.
Yeah. Now I could, for example, with the sphere selected, I could just tell it to divide. And because geometry is a bit ugly right now, it's dividing it that way.
Now she's got like cool shark saw teeth.
Oh yeah.
All the better for making ground beef out of her opponent, I bet.
Or just beef powder.
Yeah. She went from space alien to blender.
Oh, well, she comes from Blender.
She does come from Blender. She must now mimic her namesake. The mystery has been solved. What mystery? I don't know. Didn't know there was a mystery, but we solved it.
It was aliens all along, you know.
Of course.
But yeah, geometry is a bit messed up because it's trying to join. Like, this is a single edge going from here to here. And look at how many vertices, polygons it's trying to join. Yeah, it's. So let's go back to Blender. And I think I'm gonna open the teeth a bit more. Not you, you. So I'm going to pull this one, this one, this one, pull in, pull in, pull in. That one, and that one. And I pull them up. And I'm gonna pull these two down a bit. Let's see. Yeah, so the teeth look like it's more open now.
Yeah.
And again, I hit export.
She is a funky space jack-o'-lantern.
It's updating. Come on, ZBrush, you can do it.
We believe in you. We know there's an awful lot that you have to do, but we know you can do it.
Yeah, it's just a simple import now. I don't know why it's being so dramatic. Yeah, there we go. So you see now they are more open. So I have more space to work now. Okay, so I'm gonna move the teeth around a bit now in ZBrush. And let's see.
Look more like her funky grin.
Oh yeah. She gets funky, that's for sure. Okay, let's do Ctrl W because I need polygroups. And I'm going to use this and move topological so I can affect only certain geometry and not everything. Yeah, okay, let's take that there. So now they are a bit more crooked. They're not so perfect. He's like, oh, come on, I had perfect teeth. What are you doing with my teeth?
Everybody has to go to the dentist, even you.
What, Mom? I don't want to. You
No.
give me nightmares.
See, that's her weakness. That's how you beat her. You make her go to the dentist.
Oh, I have heard some stories about the dentist in Canada. That you have to go get the anesthesia first somewhere else, and then you go to the dentist.
Oh, I
People,
have not heard that. Holy cow.
people get really high
Oh
with
my goodness.
the anesthesia. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah, when I had my wisdom tooth, because I only had the one, when I had it removed, they did the anesthesia right there. They sat me down in the chair and they went, "All right, you ready?" And I was like, "I guess so." And they injected it in, and they're like, "All right, well, you'll feel that soon." And I'm like, "Okay." So we were just chatting, and I'm like, wonder if I'll feel it yet. And then all of a sudden, there was just like this weird head rush, and I went, and the last thing I remember saying is, "Oh, there it is." And then I just don't remember anything else until it was over.
Oh boy. It was a strong one then.
Yeah. Well, usually there's like some short-term amnesia with getting anesthesia anyway, but
Oh well,
we do not go from different places. When I
I
had,
I
oh, sorry, go
didn't
ahead.
get that, and I had a lot of work in my teeth. It's like I
Mhm.
had really bad teeth. Like I never cared about my teeth in my life, basically. And then I decided,
Yeah,
well,
you
you
pay
know,
for it when you're older.
well, and I decided, yeah, it's time to fix it. And yeah, I was like 2 years going in and out of the dentist. I have implants. I have cavities filled. I have teeth that have been rebuilt. Eh, Basically, everything that was in the catalog. I have crowns, everything, anything you can imagine. I have it all.
Yeah, that kind of happened to my brother because he did the same thing.
Yeah.
If you don't take care of them, you will pay the price
Oh yeah, I
because
did.
your body will not maintain it for free.
I did. I paid around 3K US money.
Woo.
And hold up, because there's a catch. Because here the government pays part of the medical bills. In this case, they paid 40 to 50% of the bills.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, it is. It is good.
Yeah, I don't have dental insurance, so I had to pay for my surgery
Mm.
out of pocket. And I had to pay for it before the surgery because and I thought that was funny. I know why it was. It's cuz you're still hopped up on anesthesia when you come out of it. So you're in no position to actually pay. But at the same time I was sitting there, they're like, "Okay, we need you to pay in full before you go in." And I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Should I be suspicious that you want my money?" The nurse gave me a look, and I'm like, "I was just joking. I'm nervous. I'm sorry."
It's like, damn it,
But
she's on to us.
mine ended up being like about 1,200 for the surgery, and that's only because it was one tooth. If it was more teeth, it would have cost more because it would take longer. So I'm very lucky that I only had the one. And the only other surgery that I've had that needed anesthesia, well, the only other surgery I've had at all, really, uh, that required anesthesia, um, I remember. I don't remember them giving me the anesthesia, but I do remember everything up to that because I didn't was not on a gurney for that one. I had to walk into the operating theater and then get on the table myself. So I'm just standing there all nervous while there's all these medical people walking around. They're like, "Hop up there." I'm like, "Oh boy, okay." Did you? Greed wants to know if we have watched Beyond Belief, and if yes, what is the scariest episode? Do we think? I
um,
have not watched that. I'm afraid.
me neither. What's that?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Oh yeah, sorry, King Red. We don't know. But yeah, in my case, the anesthesia was local always because the dentist explained me. By the way, the dentist Amel Hort. That's his real name, by the way, Amel Hort. He's like the Michelangelo of teeth.
Oh, I know this show. It's the one that has Frakes on it. Yeah, Jonathan Frakes, aka Riker. I've not watched this series, but I've seen enough clips of it that it comes off a bit funny to me. seeing the commentary for that
Oh,
show out of
is that
context.
one when he says, that story, we made it up. It was all fake, Is that...
Maybe? But he's the one where shoot. The current meme for that one is things like just out of context, like he'll be like, if that's the case, then who called Mary's phone? Was there really a knife in the kitchen? Stuff like that. So I have not watched many. I don't think I've watched any full episodes of that, but I have seen clips of them, and especially out of context, it's very funny to me. So I am afraid that I can't say which episode I find scariest because I didn't watch the episodes. Sorry.
I guess the episode with Picard. I don't know. I haven't watched it. Sorry.
It'd be really funny if he did guest star on that, though.
But
not even as the actor, as Jean-Luc Picard.
Imagine if I got that right.
Oh my god, that'd be really funny.
It's like the other we were talking about Walking Dead, and I said aliens, and he said it's right.
You're right, actually. Yeah, you were. You were correct. That is how unless that's changed and I was lied to.
Like,
but that is how the comic resolves itself, is
like,
that it was aliens.
I don't know how to feel about that now. I was trying to make a joke.
That's what I said too when I found out. I'm like, I don't actually know how to feel about that, because on the one hand, that's a perfectly acceptable answer, but on the other hand, that was really your answer. I don't know if I should laugh or be like, oh,
It's like, okay, what are the aliens like? What do they look like?
Yeah. Well, see, that it's kind of like having your story resolve with, and it was magic all along. It's like sometimes that works, but then other times your reader is left sitting there going, wait, what?
Yeah, some people love the magical explanation. Honestly, it pisses me off. It's like, it's a cheap resource. It's like, that happened because Witcher did it. It's like, no, come on, give me a plausible reason.
Yeah, well, it's the problem is whether or not it feels like the explanation was earned, I think. So if it's like, something like, say, Harry Potter. If something happens in Harry Potter and they go, oh, that was magic, you're more inclined to believe it because magic's been established, and as long as whatever's happened has operated within those rules, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. It was a spell.
But, if Harry pulled a gun, I'd be more surprised. It's like, okay.
Yeah, if Harry solved the problem by pulling a handgun out of his backpack and went, ha-ha, and shot Voldemort, you'd go, what?
Like, okay, where did the gun come from? It's like...
Yeah, you'd be sitting going, hold on a minute, what?
Oh, speaking of guns and Harry Potter, have you seen one called Guns Akimbo?
I have not.
Well, you have to. And I think Mike will get a kick out of it. Because it's a very interesting story. It's not what you expect. Of course, it's not a serious story. It's not a movie that takes itself seriously. No, it's a bit over the top. But it's fun as hell. It's really fun.
Those are usually the best kinds of movies. But like, the ending for The Walking Dead is a great example, at least to me, of what I've always believed, which is, if you're going to write a story with a mystery, you need to decide what the answer to that mystery is before you do the thing. Because if you don't, it's gonna get really weird and very hard to put it together.
Yeah.
Because you have to start, even if you don't tell people right off the bat about the aliens being the source of the zombie plague, you have to start leaving little breadcrumbs so that it makes sense in the end, because otherwise it just feels like you pulled it out your butt.
Yeah.
It feels like you did not plan. That you didn't know the answer either, so you just went, aliens.
Yeah, that's very disrespectful to the audience. As an author, you owe that in a moral way. It's not like anyone's forcing you to write things or create stuff, but if you have an audience there, you have some people that have an
There are certain
investment.
things that you owe your audience, and
Yeah.
to do your best is one of those things. Now, that being said, you can also have a story that is kind of a mystery that doesn't answer the mystery.
Yeah, it's
And
called
that's part,
open endings. Yeah.
yeah, well, it's part of a genre called weird fiction. Like, for example, a lot of things like H.P. Lovecraft's monsters. A lot of those things don't give you an answer as to what happened.
Yeah.
It just gives you that experience. There's an episode of Love, Death, and Robots like that. I think it's called The Field. It's the one with the train. And
Oh
then he's
yeah,
like,
that
don't
one.
go
Yeah,
crystal
yeah,
tall grass.
yeah.
Yeah. So that would be a good example of weird fiction, is that it's about a dude who gets on a train and the train breaks down for a little bit, and against the instructions of the train operator, he gets off the train, and then a bunch of weird crazy shit happens. And then in the end, he said, "Oh my gosh, what was that? What happened?" And the guy's like, to be honest with you, I have no fucking idea. It just happens sometimes, and I try to keep people from getting off the train.
Yeah.
But I can't tell them why, because they'll think I'm crazy. Would you have believed me if I told you, oh, don't go in the tall grass, there'd be zombies in there or whatever? You'd have been like,
There'll be
you'd been like,
monsters, you know.
yeah. You're like, oh, don't go in there. There's aliens in the grass. You'd have been like, yeah, right. And then you'd go into the grass to check it out because you'd think I was
And
full of shit.
then you can hear the Mexicans. Ay, no mames, güey, nos han visto.
What you didn't know is that this is the portal in the tall grass is how they avoid Trump's wall, his fictitious, impossible to build wall.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah? Well, I'm going to open a portal through a zombie dimension to get across the border now. Your move, fat man.
I honestly, I can see people going through that and choosing, yeah, I'll take my chances with the zombies rather than the cartel. Thank you very much.
I could see that also. I know I probably would. Be like, so as long as I'm quiet and I don't fling my blood everywhere, I can sneak past the zombies and get out of here. Or I can stay here and get my butt kicked on the daily. I think I'm gonna go with the zombies.
Yeah. Yeah, zombies. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry to interrupt our fun conversation, but I have to go. I have to go do something really quick.
Yeah, do it.
But I will be right back, and hopefully just
take your time. I'll be here.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys. Have you guys watched Love, Death, Robots? And if so, favorite episode? What you think? What you like? What you didn't like? For me, it's a really good idea. They explore things that normally studios will not explore. Like, you can see some of the stories are really weird, or they don't have a real solid conclusion, like the one with the mysteries of the aliens and stuff. And I like it because that allows the creators to be creative, to create new stuff, to give something new to people, and people have responded and they love it. Like, one of my favorite episodes is Suits. Oh, I would love to play a game like that. Imagine you have your mech, your farm, where you're protecting it from the aliens. Not Mexican aliens, but the other kind of aliens. Let's see, what else do I need in here? So it's the teeth, the tongue, and that's basically it. So I have to raise the color. Yep. Let's do that. Let's raise the color. Yeah. Yep, that should be. And let's make it touch bigger, appear that way. Oh yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I like that. What else? Oh, it's the boots. I need to work on the boots. Let's see. Did I create the boots in Blender? Or I didn't. I think I didn't. Oh, I can do that. Let's see. Alexas. No. Let's see. Let's take this. Take it to Blender. And import. Hey, there we go. Oh, these legs are so thin. Okay, okay. Let's make a cylinder. Scale down. Take it there. Scale down again. Front view. Take it there. Scale down. No, about. I'm gonna make it just a touch bigger. Okay. So let's go into wireframe. Let's pull them up. All the way up. There. Take those down. And I'm gonna add loop cut there. Loop cut here. Rotate just a bit. Loop cut. The key to making things rounder, it's just to add a handful of wood caps. Don't go too crazy, and it's easier to control that way. Let's go with that. Add another one. And there we go. Now, I'm going to use the proportional edit. Yes. And there we go. And we have a big chunk of the leg. Now let's do it again. Let's add another cylinder. Scale down. Oh yeah, this music is rave, pure rave. I should be okay with this music. I got hit by some copyright claims on YouTube. I'm fixing them, just silencing the songs. But it's annoying. Because I used a playlist that said, yeah, copyright free, but it wasn't copyright free. It was a lie. It was a lie.
It was a lie. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thanks. And thank everybody for their patience.
Oh, they were waiting for you.
Copyright warning.
Yeah, you know, one of the playlists I used on Spotify, it said it was copyright free. But it wasn't. That was a lie.
So did Twitch smack you with that, or was it just?
It was YouTube that smacked him. It's like, you know, this song, that song, that song, that song, like 7 copyright strikes in, well,
Ugh.
not copyright strikes. It's like, yeah, this song
Just
it's
little,
copyrighted,
little like,
that one,
you
that
can't
one.
monetize your thing. Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
it's like,
That's annoying.
you tell me I could be paid for this, and you still tell me that I'm so far away I cannot be monetized. Come on, make up your own mind. Is it one lie or the other?
Like, how does Twitch handle stuff like that? Like, if I just turned on the radio and wasn't planning to put anything on YouTube, would Twitch be like, "Hey, now"?
Well, it's easier on Twitch, and the way that most people do it, it's actually quite simple. If you stream, but if you don't save the streams,
Mhm.
like for example, Twitch allows you to keep the video for a few days. You can do it, or you can just straight up tell it, no, I don't want to keep the videos. Just don't.
Okay.
Then
It might be one of those things to be like, "Oh, I'll keep the video downloaded and then make it go away."
yeah, that's the thing. If you don't save the video, you will have no problems with copyright at all.
Okay, so it's not something that like happens while you stream. So if I was like, well, I'm not going to save this video, I'll just upload it to YouTube later. I'll just put the radio on, and then on YouTube, I'll just
Yeah, exactly. So if you upload it later to YouTube, YouTube will go through it and check if there's any copyright claims that are automatic and stuff like that. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and then they'll just hiss angrily at you for a while. And you're like,
yeah. But yeah, you can stream anything you want. That's how big streamers do it. They just stream stuff as long as you don't save it. And if you upload it to YouTube, you have to be careful and not upload the parts that have copyright sound. And here comes the catch. If someone else clips a section of your stream and uploads it, you are free to go. Even if it has copyrighted material, or people do it, so it's not your fault.
Okay, so yeah, so thankfully you don't get in trouble with somebody else.
Yeah, it's likely. It's that's how most VTubers happen to become famous, because someone makes a clip, shares it on YouTube or any other social media platform, and that stuff usually has copyright in it.
Mm-hmm. All right, well that's good to know. Actually, one of the other things I was considering doing when I was thinking about it, I'm like, what should I do if I don't have a lot to say on like an art stream, because I'll be focused? And I'm like, since you can have multiple windows and OBS taught me how to do it, maybe I should just put on an anime and just have it in like a tiny little window in the corner and be like, it'd have to be a dub because you wouldn't be able to read the subtitles. Be like,
oh, people do it all the time, and
like,
even with subtitles enabled. No.
Oh, cool. I guess it just has to be big enough to be read. But be like, well, I'm gonna do some art. You guys want to watch cartoons with me?
Yeah, a lot of people, streamers, I mean, not real people.
The internet persona that is the streamer.
Yeah, they actually sit and watch stuff, and people comment on the stuff. They send them videos. Like, there was this girl that was watching Gordon Ramsay's shows, and she was just there watching, barely saying anything. She was just sitting there watching TV.
That's really funny. Well, then that's good. That means that if I ever wanted to do an event like, hey guys, it's Halloween, you want to watch a spooky movie, I could do it.
Oh yeah, they do it all the time.
As long as it wasn't like what that one channel's been doing with the Morbius movie and just playing it on repeat. It won't get taken down.
Yeah.
So that's good. I still think that's the funniest thing in the universe, especially since Paramount, I guess, like, knew. Because people were saying, like, oh yeah, they knew about it. They just didn't do anything. They just decided they were going to re-release it. And then nobody saw it, so it didn't matter. Nobody went to see the re-release. Because that wasn't why they were watching the stream. They were watching it for the memes. And for the poking fun at each other and not, the movie.
Not a meme, son.
Oh my goodness. That movie is such a mess.
I haven't seen it yet. I don't think I will.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to spoil it. It's still in, it's still in theaters, but I have to say that all of the bits I've seen and the talk about it, like a Filmento did a good dissection of the movie. For anybody who doesn't care about spoilers, you should go check that out. Uh, but oh my gosh, it's such a mess. It I don't understand why. Well, first of all, I don't understand why the movie was made, but I don't understand why it was so bad. It's like, what did you guys forget how writing works? You have to set things up for a payoff. You couldn't think of any reason for, like, I don't know, for characters to be, angry at other people. They just act this way because
Me angry.
there needs to be a villain. Like, I will watch it when it is on Blu-ray. Yeah, that's fine, Greed. Again, if somebody actually wants to go see the film or saw it and was like, "Oh, that's really cool," then I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, you're dumb for having fun at the Morbius movie." Nah, you have fun wherever you have fun. It's just from a storytelling perspective and from like a, you know, having taken creative writing classes and film writing classes in college and stuff, I look at what they did and I go, how did you ignore every single rule that anybody's ever taught you about writing things? What is up with that? What are you doing?
Like, oh yeah, writing. Yeah, we have.
What is character motivation? There needs to be a villain, so this guy's the bad guy.
No, I'm trying to remember a line from Mass Effect. It's like, oh yes, Reaper. We have. What did he say? Yeah, we have dismissed those claims or something like that.
Oh yeah. When you I think it's at the start of Mass Effect 2 where you're trying to tell the council that what you did was you fought a Reaper, and they're like, I don't know if we believe that. And you're like, I saved you from it. You were there. And they're like, yeah, but did it though? You're like, what do you mean did it though? It blew up part of the Citadel. I don't know. That might have been a big fancy spaceship. Okay. Well, let's pretend for a moment it was a big fancy spaceship. I can promise you that there are more big fancy spaceships that are going to be here very soon. Shouldn't we do something? No.
Like the critical drinker says, it will be fine.
What do you mean it won't be fine? The entire colony disappeared.
Yeah, but those are humans, though. You know, nobody cares. Like, me human. Me care.
King Greed wants to know, is it really worse than Suicide Squad, the 2016 movie, and the Birds of Prey movie? I would say that actually, yeah.
No.
Because well, hear me out. Because Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey is a mess. They are both absolute messes of films. But at least the Suicide Squad 2016 movie considered that the villain would have motivation to be a bad guy. It wasn't good motivation, but it had motivation. The villain in Morbius literally has no motivation at all for why they are the villain. They just are the villain. It's not like something happened to them in the past to make them, to make them hate people. It's not like it's a side effect of what made them into the villain in the first place. No, it's just they act normal, and then as soon as the time to be bad guy moment occurs, they become evil and decide that killing people is a great idea. There's also some detectives, and I'm sorry for speaking very vague, I just don't want to spoil it for people, but there's also some detectives in the film who just do things because in order for the plot to move forward, they would have to make these discoveries. But they don't really make a discovery, they just deduce stuff apropos of nothing. It'd be like,
well, what I heard is that they pull it out of thin air.
Yeah, it'd be basically like It'd be basically like they walk into a room and they stare at Michael Morbius for like a second and they go, "You've got a blood disease." And he's like, "Yes, I do have a blood disease. You're a vampire." What? they just are like, blood disease. He's a vampire. And be like, why would you jump to that conclusion though?
Yeah,
Would you not be incredibly skeptical since this is a world that does not have vampires? It'd be like if it'd be like in like if there was a Sherlock Holmes movie and he just walked in, pointed to a guy and went, "That is the murderer," bowed and walked out of the room, and you're like, "Wait, how did you get to that conclusion?" And he'd just be like, "Because I'm smart," and then disappeared. And you're like,
wait,
"Well,
isn't that what the Enola Holmes film did?
Well, I know that they're like that's what it seems like to outsiders when Holmes does something, but in good Sherlock Holmes TV shows and movies, they will either show you his process or have him talk about his process.
Well, I mean, the one that they did with the girl from Stranger Things.
I actually haven't seen that.
Enola Holmes, that's the name of the show.
Oh, I have not seen that. So I cannot comment on that.
I guess you don't have to.
But I can't say if that is what they did, but if you say that it's just like she walks in, looks at a scene, and then goes, "He did it," and walks away, then yes, that's basically how the detectives.
Yeah, I have seen a couple scenes that are just like that. It's like she comes, it's like, "Yeah, this is the bad guy." It's like, okay, why? Because he bad guy, and
he's the bad guy.
I'm right.
Yeah.
It's like,
whereas
you're like just a girl that walked in.
Like, who are you? Wait a minute, who are you?
You know, if someone comes into a room and says, "Yeah, that's the guy that did it," and first thing that will go off in my mind, "Yeah, why are you blaming someone without any proof?"
Okay, who are you, and how do you know that? What evidence do you possess? I am Sherlock. Okay, I don't care if you're Sherlock. I don't care if you're Poirot. You have to tell me how you did it. You have to tell me what this evidence is because you can't just arrest a person. Ah, she's looking super good.
Yeah, I'm taking a minute to reflect on it, see how it looks overall.
And that is a good thing to do as any kind of artist, is to step away from your work and then come back a minute later, because then you'll see. It's like when you're writing too. If you just write, you know what it is you wanted to say, so you'll miss things. But if you walk away for a little bit and then come back and reread what you wrote,
you come back and it's like, "What the hell did you write this thing? Oh, that was me."
I didn't mean like you walk back and go, "Wow, I thought this was good, but boy, was I wrong." No, I mean like you'd walk back and be like, "Oh, I didn't phrase that part right. Let me fix it." So, but yeah, that's what I have heard about the Morbius movie as being its two glaring flaws: is that character nobody knows what has motivated anyone to do anything, and the detectives are magic.
Yeah,
and
that is no reason. Just move the plot forward. You know.
Yeah, it's like, well, because if they didn't figure it out, then we wouldn't have a movie. You'd be like, okay. King Greed says, "Man, I feel sorry for Jared Leto that he went from one joke figure to the other." Yeah, I feel bad when an actor ends up getting accidentally typecast as a blithering idiot.
Yeah, well, at least he's taking it with a sense of humor. Like, he's posting memes. He posted one recently that he was holding a script, and the other person is like, "Oh, what's that? What's that? Show me." It's like, and the script says, "Morbius 2, it's Morbin time."
Morbius 2, it's Morbin time.
Yeah,
that's funny.
And you know, he's taking it that way, and I think that's great because, you know, he's using the joke in his favor.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's. I don't like when people blame actors for bad movies. It's not their fault.
Yeah, but he could have done it a very different way and say, "Oh no, it's just because you guys don't know about cinema or anything." Like, so many actors, directors.
Oh, it's not bad. You just don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, he's going with it and saying, "Yeah, you know, I get that people didn't enjoy the film, so I'll take it to my advantage. And
They're like, well, it was fun. Let's laugh at it.
That's a great move.
Yeah. And it's but like I was saying, it's not fair to blame an actor when a movie ends up being bad.
Tell that to the studio.
Well, if an actor gives a bad performance, then it's for one of two reasons. Either the person is not a good actor, in which case you might have wanted to figure that out before you hired them, like by, having people do line reads. Or it's because perhaps the acting director isn't any good. Like, for example, the prequels, the Star Wars prequels, have a lot of bad acting. But I don't blame, say, Hayden Christensen. I don't blame him for the for his acting not coming out very well. He didn't really have a lot to work with, and actors aren't miracle workers. Because if you stick them in a room that's just all blue screen and you go, "Oh, pretend you're awed by the city," what are they supposed to do?
Yeah.
So when he had the opportunity to really act, like at the end when he's squaring off against Obi-Wan.
Hello there.
And yeah, hello there. And they're beating the crap out of one another, and he's like screaming, "I hate you." And it may seem a little over the top, but his acting is really good. You do believe that he is a very upset guy losing his mind in front of somebody who was his friend.
Mic off.
Okay.
Mic on.
Okay, sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah, and he acts like a child. Is like, I'm pissed. You're bad.
Yeah. And except that's kind of that's kind of who Anakin is.
Yeah.
Anakin
Come on, they just took a kid and threw him into war.
Yeah, he's a person who didn't really get to have a good childhood. He's been manipulated by multiple people. When people are like that, they don't turn into like a cool, calm, collective evil guy. I mean, he does eventually become more cool, calm, and collected, but he's not a stable person, like, at all. So that's why he does bad things. Oh, King Greed says, memes just rule the world. First, Big Chungus in Space Jam 2, then Neutron Hugh in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and now Morbius 2. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Nanomemes, son. Nanomemes.
There's
Monsoon was right.
What's that Cartoon Network fighting game that's got like Scooby-Doo in it?
Oh, that's the DC's the equivalent of Smash Bros. Yeah.
Yeah, it's their version of Smash. Come to the dark side, we have cookies. Yeah. But that game is absurd.
Yeah,
because you can be Shaggy and they lean super hard into that was only like 2% of my power.
For me, that feels, honestly, that is like DC is running out of ideas. It's like, let's make a meme game. Come on.
Yeah, sometimes it's funny when things lead into me. Like, I guess you can probably tell. There's just something inherent about when a meme gets added to things. Oh, King Greed says it's called multiverses. That's what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
But when it's something like there's something inherent that you can just tell when a meme was added because the person who put it in there thought it was really funny and wanted to add it, or because someone up top said you need to put it in there because the kids love their memes and we need to be hip. And that's usually like I think it's like some degree of like it being kind of tone deaf.
Yeah, it
Looks
is.
like the person who put the meme in didn't really understand why it was funny, so it just kind of appears, and you're like, oh, okay. Like the Shaggy in this versus game doing the you know 1%. This is only like 1% of my power is funny and silly, whereas like the Powerpuff, yeah, Ultra Instinct Shaggy, whereas like in the Powerpuff Girls remake they did them twerking because that's what the kids do. That's not funny.
What
That's
was the name of
creepy.
that show that Netflix had that was basically child pornography? Cuties.
Oh, yeah, cuties. That is actually bad marketing because the movie, yeah, what the movie was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be about a girl who is kind of really generic. It's like a girl who doesn't fit in, and she wants to make friends, and she learns to express herself more by joining like a dance club. And then they decide that they're going to do like more modern dances instead of like ballet or whatever. And they have these cool, cute little leotard costumes that, you know, people wear when they do gymnastics and dancing and whatever. But when they marketed the film, they did like these weird photo shoots where they shot the kids like they were adult performers, and just everyone got uncomfortable. And then they did this description of the movie which made it sound like they were like, oh, watch this 14-year-old twerk her way to victory, and you're like, I don't want to watch that. I'm gonna end up on a list.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have the FBI, fucking FBI knocking on my door going, hey, what are you doing in here? So that sucks. That's a case of like them being like, oh, but if we do it this way, you know, the kids will be like, ah, I know what that is, and I want to watch it, instead of just, you know, kind of leaning into the fact that, you know, the movie is kind of generic, you know, because we've seen that 1,000 times. King Greed says many have defended this film. That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks when, you know, when like corporate meddling screws up a project. Because, like I said, from what I understand, I haven't seen the movie, so I could be wrong. But from what I understand, ultimately, it's just supposed to be about a, you know, an insecure person who makes friends and learns to express herself through dance, and that it happens to have modern dancing, so they have like fancy, funky little costumes. And then some executive went, ah, but if we take a picture of them posing like how you might see, I'm just gonna pull a singer out of my butt, Nicki Minaj. If we take photos of the kids posing like Nicki Minaj, everyone will watch the movie. And then everybody saw that and went, oh God, no. And then I guess that they just decided that, you know, any press is good press, even if it's negative. So
Yeah.
let's just
And
lean
honestly,
into that.
the titles didn't help.
Oh, it did not. The taglines for that film were really bad. It made it seem like an incredibly inappropriate movie.
Yeah, it's like,
And
hey, you guys like underage adult content? We have
we're
it.
like, oh no. Why would we? Is this some kind of test? This is a trick question. Is there like something here I'm not seeing? No, I don't want to watch a little kid do a sexy dance. That's
Like,
creepy.
Can I talk to my FBI agent, please?
You're sitting there like, I hope that my assigned FBI agent that's watching me through my laptop can tell that I am disgusted right now.
You know, Francis, you know me. You know, I don't watch that stuff. You know what I watch? I watch monsters and other stuff like that. You know.
I watch horror movies, and I just wanted to watch like the feel good, you know, adolescent coming of age film. I didn't want to watch whatever the fuck this is. So,
Imagine if you go on trial and your FBI agent comes to help you. It's like, yeah, I've been watching this guy
it's like,
for
no,
years.
I was spying on him. Don't worry, he's not into that.
Here's the proof. He's innocent. I mean, he's a sick pervert. but he's
Here's
innocent.
yeah, here's this watch list of all the like strange cartoons and the Saw marathon he went on. Just call Ugly Sonic. He's in the FBI. That's another weird one. I don't know what the hell that movie is. What in the world is that weird Rescue Rangers movie?
It's a mess.
I know that they're trying to lean into, and take the piss and being like, "Oh, haha, Ugly Sonic." But at the same time, I feel so uncomfortable because I have no idea what the hell is going on. I hope that the movie itself makes more sense, but it really doesn't feel like it does. I feel like even if I had context, I'd be like,
It's like, do I want
what?
to have the context?
Well, context makes this better, or will it just make me more uncomfortable?
It's like, do I really want to hurt myself in that way?
Yeah. I don't know. I watch the clips of Ugly Sonic and all I feel is secondhand embarrassment. I'm like, oh, I don't feel good watching this. I feel like I'm making fun of somebody who like has an actual problem. I feel like I'm laughing at somebody who fell out of a chair and now I'm the asshole.
Yeah. Ugly Sonic has a big problem that it exists.
Yeah. It's like, hey, it was a mistake that the studio actually went back and fixed and ended up making a pretty decent movie.
Yeah,
the sequel is actually pretty good too, from what I hear. I have not watched it yet.
Like the art director came. What did that guy tell you? He's talking to the suits and he's like, "What did I tell you? People will hate that. We'll have to fix it." It's like,
oh, they like the realistic Pokemon. Yeah, but if you think about it, the realistic Pokemon in the Pikachu movie weren't actually that realistic. They still had a lot of cartoon proportions.
And hell, it was Ryan Reynolds, so
yeah,
the connection with reality was quite loose.
Yeah, the Pikachu looked more like a stuffed toy Pikachu than like an actual mouse. Okay, so they didn't have human teeth for no reason. Actually, I follow the artist who did the designs for the Detective Pikachu movie, and one of the things he talked about, because that's how he like got known, is he did realistic Pokemon designs, where he would sit down with like the animals that they were based on and make like realistic looking versions of them. But he was talking about like, when they hired him to do these things, they were like, yeah, so we hired you to make realistic Pokemon, but can you make them like less like that though? Because they actually kind of look creepy and we don't want to scare the children. Can we make Charizard not look like an actual iguana?
And that's a really good creative decision if you're striving towards some realism, but still you are aware of the fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. Is you have to make compromises, and that's something that happens whenever you move from one medium to another. If you move from a cartoon style to a realistic style, you have to think about what you can do and what's going to just look really stupid. And how like that's one of like the things that comes into play with like, oh, they've never made a good anime movie. I would like them to, but most of the time it's either that they stick so closely to the Mr. Mime was creepy. Yeah, the Mr. Mime was kind of creepy, but I actually really liked that scene. I thought it was real. It ended up being kind of like disturbing, but for me, the part that was disturbing is that the Mr. Mime fully believes his fantasy to the point that they could have killed him by accident with this fake house fire that they did. But it was kind of amazing. But really, mimes are just kind of creepy anyway. So, like, what were they gonna do?
They'll open the door and come and get you.
I do like that a part of like Mr. Mime's lore now is that if you make him mad, he will marry your mom. I don't know why they decided that was part of the lore, but it is, and it makes the cartoon have a lot of questions. I look at the Pokemon cartoon and I go, is Mr. Mime Ash's new dad? Is that what happened here?
Like, how did you get to that conclusion? What the hell happened?
I don't know.
I
think it
have not
actually
seen the
might have
movie.
been-
So I don't know.
Oh, the live action movie doesn't have that's like a new Pokedex entry or something. Is that if you make a Mr. Mime angry, it will like marry your mother or some weird shit like that. I have to find that entry because it's like so bizarre. Of like how the Mr. Mime will get vengeance upon like a bad kid. But
He
that
comes
had
home,
to
opens the door to your room. Are you winning, son?
yeah. Just opens the door with a pipe in his hand and be like, hey, guess what? I'm marrying your mom. You're like, what?
You can talk.
Let me, yeah, haha, joke's on you. Let me look this up. Let me find out where that's from. Mr. Mime. Mime will. Yeah, Mr. Mime will marry your mom. Here we go.
Okay, FBI agents, buckle up.
Okay. Oh, yes, the whole entry. Can I get this to be not so tiny, please? Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, I'm looking into this now.
Ooh. The plot thickens.
Need more JPEG. Yeah, it's so crunchy. Plus an extra post that makes it even better. Okay, so from what I understand, looking at this, it looks like it was a changed entry. And it comes from people talking about how creepy the Mr. Mime looked and why do those tufts on his head not look like hair? And it's because it has blue growths that resemble clown hair extending from the side of its pale pink head. So it's not supposed to be hair. It just kind of looks like hair. But apparently this entire Mr. Mime will marry your mom thing comes from a screen cap that they used to show the description. Yeah, it's somebody tweaked it, I guess, but it says from birth this Pokemon is excellent at raising young human boys along with their single mothers, and that's where it came from. Some children would call their Mr. Mime their father. So that, I guess, is where that came from.
And that's not creepy, right? That's not creepy, right? So that's the thing I don't get about the Pokemon universe. Are those things sentient?
Yes.
But do they have
and they're
rights?
sapient too. I
Do
guess
have
they
rights
don't.
or anything? Because
I guess they don't.
Pokemon is basically slavery.
Yeah, it's like I guess it's not quite that, but it's like it's worse than dog fighting,
Yeah.
but less than like enslavement.
I don't know. They're forced to do the bidding of the owners.
Yeah, I guess.
Like they use them for things like construction, stuff like that, or
yeah, there's
or unpaid labor.
The games are always like, oh, they like when you catch them and train them. Pokemon like being caught.
Yes, Daddy trained me. Like that?
I hope not. The kids are 11. They're 11 when they start. But from what I understand, that's what it's supposed to be. It's like, oh, well, Pokemon want to get stronger, and they know they can only do that by having a human trainer. I guess an 11-year-old's really good at training an animal to fucking own your butt, but I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna trust this creature that is clearly underdeveloped to make me a killing machine.
I am literally God, and this 11-year-old will make me stronger. it was something that we really didn't need to think about that much, and then Pokemon Black and White ironically brought it up by having is it Team Galactic? No. I forgot the name of the evil organization in there. But their whole thing was like, oh, Pokemon should have rights. You shouldn't keep them in Pokeballs. That's inhumane and awful. And then all of a sudden the game just takes a hard left and is like, oh, but they were secretly evil and going to steal the Pokemon the whole time, so therefore anything they talked about is now invalid. And I'm like, that tells me that you couldn't think of a downside to the discussions they were having, could you? Because they were like, oh, Team Plasma, thank you, Greed. He knows. I forgot, but he knows. Because they were like, you can't talk to your Pokemon, so did you ask them if they want to be captured like that? Oh, well, no.
As far as I know, they resist the capture.
Yeah, they do. They don't want to be captured. There's Pokeballs that descriptions say that it will it forces them to like you.
Oof. Oof.
And I know that what they mean is it's supposed to be like, I guess whatever the environment in the Pokeball is supposed to be really nice. So the Pokemon's like, oh, this place is really good. I like this. Kind of like, I guess, winning over like a feral cat by giving them a nice comfy kitty bed.
Yeah, but honestly, that sounds like a thing that an 11-year-old would say. You're going to like me.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you like me. I think that there were actually episodes of Pokemon in which Ash spent most of his time screaming at Charizard, why don't you like me? Why will you not be my friend? So, yeah, when you give it a good think, Pokemon is a little bit,
Yeah, it's weird.
It's a little bit, like, if you think about it too hard, you're like, oh, I might be the bad guy. But it ultimately is a game for kids.
Yeah, because so basically you're beating creatures that are free in the wild, giving them beating close to death, then forcing them to do fighting for you, be your friends.
Yeah, again, it's a game for kids, and the gist they're going with is that, like, oh, you know, they battle you in the wild because they're jealous of your Pokemon and they want you to train them too, so they want to prove that they're really strong, so you'll catch them. And Pokemon is all about becoming friends with the Pokemon that you catch.
Yeah, but
you know,
what about the kids growing up with those ideas? Like, what do you mean I cannot catch a guy to work for me? Yeah, I have been doing this for 18 years in Pokemon.
Yeah, so again, that's one of those things that I guess kind of like raises an eyebrow a little bit if you think about it for more than a few minutes. It's one of those things that I guess you have to just kind of give a pass because it's a kid's game. You know, you put Pokemon in Pokeballs because there wasn't technology to have the wall follow you around. The game would have crashed. The entire game is only like 3 megabytes of data. So it's like, oh, that's just how it has to be. It has to be that way because that is the game mechanic. You can't not.
So yeah, it's slavery. Yeah.
We can't have an exciting gaming system in which you sit down and have a conversation and write a contract with a Pokemon. Nobody is going to play this game. But yeah. I just think it's really funny that with Team Plasma, they were like, oh, but what if we sat down and actually talked about it? And then they got to the end and they were like, shit, they're right. Make them a bad guy. Instead of playing up like the friendship aspect and like proving that like, no, your Pokemon really do, you know, the way that Pokemon function as a collective and subspecies, I guess, because they're all Pokemon, but they're different. Oh, whatever. But it's like, oh no, the way Pokemon work is that Pokemon want to become more powerful because if they do, they evolve. It's like Digimon, where a Digimon will attach themselves to a human because humans generate large amounts of data, and large amounts of data is how they evolve into something stronger. So they want to hang out with people.
There weren't wild Pokemons that were evolved or something.
Yeah, and they evolve through doing battle with themselves, except for the ones that don't. They introduced contests, and then it got weird because now this Pokemon, like Feebas, will only evolve if it is pretty. You have to tell it it's pretty enough that it will evolve. You gotta catch them all. 898 Pokemon. God, have we passed 1,000 Pokemon?
I would.
I kind of know.
I
What
would
is the
bet.
exact number of Pokemon? How many Pokemon are there? And I'm not including the one that has 72 evolutions. Yeah, so there's 898 Pokemon. Greed is correct.
That's
Oh, wait a minute. There's 905. Did some disappear? Oh, counting only distinct species of Pokemon. There's 319 if you take into account different forms of Pokemon. And probably even more if you include the ice cream Pokemon.
What?
There is, or well, actually, I guess it'd probably be better to call it a parfait. So there is a Pokemon in Sword and Shield. Hello, Design! We're talking about Pokemon, and the one Pokemon that has 72 different evolutions.
Not virgins.
In the
To be clear.
Yep. They it is it evolves. Oh god. Okay, so when it evolves, you have to spin the stick. What it evolves, the version of its evolution it turns into. No, sorry, not the ice cream cone Pokemon. I guess this one's more of a parfait. Because it evolves out of a milk. Like literally milk, a drop of milk.
What?
Yes. I'll look up what it's called in a moment. But what you have... You know what? I should just look it up now. Because I have to tell you all the insane things that you have to do to evolve it.
So is that a way to say, kids, don't spill your milk or you'll kill a Pokemon? And now the kids are spilling all the milk. But no, I want a free Pokemon.
Eevee has the most. What is it? Pokemon with 72.
Well, I have to give it to the guys that got creative with the things in the beginning, because nowadays it's just a mess. I've seen some designs that are just... What are you even trying to achieve here?
Cream? No, not Alchemist. I will find this Pokemon. I just can't remember what it's called.
Imagine if it was a Meikushiku or something.
Something like that. Alright, I gotta find them. I
Mirukushiku.
need to find the Pokedex. Yeah, the ice cream cone is oh my god, Vanillite, Vanillish, and Vanillux.
That sounds venomous. Is it toxic or something?
No, it's ice cream.
Oh.
It's like the word deluxe, I guess. Because it evolves into like more and more fancy Pokemon. Okay.
You know, honestly, that sounds like running out of ideas. What
that
should
one
we make
I
now?
believe-
No, I don't know. What do we have on the table? Ice cream? Yeah, let's make ice cream.
I believe that one was actually designed by an American fan. They let him design a Pokemon.
A fan of ice cream, I see.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Cursula. That's a fun one. Oh, there it is. Milcery, and it evolves into Alcremie. Okay. Now, I will read its brief thing, and then I will look up how many. Oh my god, its Gigantamax version is a cake. So, it evolves from Milcery while it is holding a sweet. When its trainer spins and strikes a pose, the form it will take upon evolving depends on the time of day, the length of the spin, and whether the trainer was spinning clockwise, counterclockwise, and its appearance is then further determined by the kind of sweet it was holding. And it can evolve into many different versions, including a vanilla cream, a ruby cream, matcha cream, mint cream, lemon cream, salted cream, ruby swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Rainbow Swirl, and each version of that can have a different sweet on it.
Okay,
which means
you
that
said
there is
swirl,
an insane amount.
but the first time I heard squirrel. It's like,
we also do have Pokemon that look like jingly keys. I forget what that is called also, but it is a ghost, and it is keys. I suppose I can let that one, like, sort of slide, because a lot of the Pokemon are based off of, like, various mythology, including a lot of Japanese mythology. And Japanese mythology says that if an object exists and is cared for a certain amount of time, it, like, becomes a spirit.
Yeah,
so you
that's
can
the,
have, like, a key ghost.
Taoism?
Yeah, I think that's part of Taoism. I could be wrong.
That everything has a spirit.
How many versions of me are there? Sorry, 63. There are 9 forms of alchemy, and there are 7 variants for each. There are 63 different possible looks.
Okay,
and that does not include shinies.
Take a look. What do you think?
You need to pronounce the name all creamy.
It's not like alchemy. It's all creamy.
I thought it was supposed to be like alchemy. So that's how I was pronouncing it. Because, like, oh, it's alchemical. There's so many different ways that this thing can evolve. Just Saren is laughing at me now.
Sorry, we're still learning. Come on, you know.
Oh my God.
I didn't even know that thing existed until 20 minutes ago. You know.
It's very cute. But for anybody who likes to max their Pokedex and get, like, all the different versions, they are going to have an absolutely horrific time doing this.
So I guess you say spinning and stuff. I guess they will become a magical girl by the end.
The idea, I guess, is like, oh, you pour milk and, like, sugar into a container, and then you whip it to make it into whipped cream, and that's what's happening based on how you've chosen to spin and do your fancy pose.
So magical girl, creamy feelings. Okay.
Yeah, they did make a trash Pokemon, and some of my friends like it. I don't understand. I mean, my boyfriend and I have had discussions about them, about how a lot of the newer ones feel like there's a lot to be desired. And part of that has to do with, like, the original 150 kind of felt like they were based on things that made sense, and that, yeah, there were some Pokemon like Magnemite and Voltorb that were based on objects, but there weren't tons of them, and they looked like plausible, fancy. Oh, Dezarin is laughing. Yeah, Dezarin says that she's laughing more because they've made a Pokemon that can essentially become a lewd joke to anybody a teen or older.
I don't think I want to know.
It's a milk Pokemon. I mean, you know, put your brain in the gutter for 5 minutes. I'm sure that you'll go, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
I just thought it was crazy when I heard it. That they were like, oh yeah, we, you know, made 63 versions. When you made 63 versions of one Pokemon?
Well, you know, they still needed a few more to reach the 72.
I guess. I thought it was 72. It's less than I thought. It's 63 total, and then I guess shiny version.
You know, imagine if you tell the kids, you know, kids, if you do some terrorist acts in the name of Pokemon, you'll get 72 Pokemons in the afterlife.
72 alchemies in the afterlife. You'd be like, why do I want that? What? Oh, the Gigantamax version is upsetting. Can I get a
Alex,
good look at the image? No, it won't. Let me. Yes.
can you take a look?
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
No,
Go.
no worries,
I will
no
take
worries.
a moment from looking up concerning pictures of cake Pokemon.
Yeah, give a break to the FBI guy. Come on.
It's like, please, I don't need to look at the 63 variations of this whipped cream Pokemon. Let me see. Ooh, look at her. Look at her little feet. Let me look at her concept art. I'll look at them side by side. Need to reach into the folder where it is.
And then I have a couple of questions, but art direction.
Okay. Give me 1 second to open
Yeah, no
the
worries.
file.
And this year
Never
comes a
zero.
new Pokemon game. Tell me, which year doesn't have a new Pokemon game?
Right? I feel like they need to give it a break.
Yeah.
Just for like a year. So that you can think of if you're gonna add more Pokemon.
Or if you're
that
gonna keep
won't-
adding, why not make them seasons? Like
Yeah.
Fortnite did it in a good way. I don't like Fortnite, but I have to admit that they did the content in a good way. They do it by seasons. This season is this thing, next season is that thing. You have the game,
Okay.
and you buy the things that come new if you want to.
Okay, I'm looking at them side by side.
Mhm.
And there's a couple of things.
Yes, tell me.
Oh, Desaren also wants to know how we are both doing at the moment. And my answer is that I'm doing very well. I'm a little bit tired. I got up very early today, but I'm doing okay, and I'm excited to stream for the first time in a bajillion years tonight.
Yes, yes, and I'm excited too that you're going to stream.
Okay.
Yes.
So looking at the concept art versus her model, I know you haven't started on the arms proper yet, so I won't comment on that.
No, go ahead, because we're working on
Okay.
the silhouette and stuff. So give me all of it.
Okay. So on the, I don't know if you want to drag over your references too. On the for the lower arms and legs, the gloves and the boots, I think they both need to be a bit puffier.
Sure.
Because they're a little bit on the chonky side. And for the shoulder pads, they increase in size the farther out they go, so it's kind of sloping down a bit. They should be sticking out like triangles almost.
I can do that.
Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad that they're a quick and easy fix. Like, I don't mind giving feedback, but part of me is like, don't be mean. He did his best. I'm like, I know he did his best. Please.
No. I need your feedback. Come on.
Exactly. It's like, I've been watching you all this time. Let me tell you everything you did wrong.
It's like, it's fine, but can you do it like better?
King Greed would like us to know that Fortnite is also getting Heidelberg from Breaking Bad, of all things. All right.
Heidelberg or Heisenberg?
Oh, Heisenberg. I'm sorry. He typed it Heidelberg. So we're getting Heisenberg from Breaking Bad.
I mean, Heidelberg sounds quite German. I was thinking something like Heidi or something like that. A character that's called Heidelberg.
Another confession from me: have not watched Breaking Bad.
Well, I'll tell you, I liked it, but I have to say that it's not for everyone.
Yeah, it just kind of wasn't my thing.
Well, I can understand it coming from your background when you were in legal stuff.
Yeah, there's not a lot of big name TV stuff that I've actually enjoyed. Like, I liked the first couple seasons of The Walking Dead, and after that, I just did not like it anymore. I did not like Game of Thrones. I know, not a popular opinion. I did not like it, or at least I didn't like the HBO version. Maybe I would have liked the book more, but the second they were like, well, we need to make use of the fact that we are HBO and put a booba everywhere, even in places it does not make sense. That's when I went, I don't think I'm going to enjoy the show. When you have to have an important conversation at a brothel, and as you guys are having your conversation, there is a topless woman posed just so that her boobs are perfectly visible at all times from behind your arm, then that says to me that you don't think that the audience will be engaged enough in the actual story and that you need to distract them with boobs. And that to me does not mark a good story.
But what if the boobs were the story all along?
What if they were important? What if those were the boobs were the key to the Iron Throne?
Imagine that. Well, I honestly, in a real scenario, yeah, I can see that
probably would
happening.
have been. They might have been. Because like I get the notion of like, oh well, they're having this meeting in this brothel because when you're in there, it's really discreet. And I'm like, okay, why is she here in the room with you then? Like you got a room and they know you're doing big secrety things, so they make a show of like taking you into the back room and ha 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 ha, and then they leave. Why is she in here? Actually, they weren't even in a separate room, were they? They were just sitting at a bar while this topless woman's just kind of doing her thing in the background. And I'm like, okay, so you don't think that your plot is... That's how it felt to me anyway, is it felt like, oh, you don't think your plot... She's there for multitasking, says Desire.
Well, and the guys is like, the plot. I'll give you two big reasons for the plot. You're talking about the boobs,
This
right?
one
Yes.
and this one. Yes, I am.
I have not seen Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I watched a little bit, and like I said, I was like, as soon as I saw that and heard people like talk, I was like, okay, no, I'm not gonna like this. And it's a shame because there are some things in it that are really good. Like, I've seen a clip of, I forgot the actress's name, but she played Captain Phasma in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. And what a shame, what a waste of a fantastic actress in those films, because she's really good.
Wait, Lena Headey?
I think that's her name, yeah.
Yeah, she played.
She's very tall.
Yeah, she played Sarah Connor in the Sarah Connor Chronicles, and she does an amazing job.
Oh, I believe it. She's a very good actress.
Because the thing with Sarah Connor, she plays the kind of Sarah Connor that was in Terminator 2.
Oh, the one that knows the bad is coming and needs to do something, but just kind of comes off to people who don't know like she's emotionally unstable.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
A good on her.
Exactly, and she has this thing that she has to care about Jon, not just for the future, just because she's his mother, and she has that duty to him, and then she's trying to find the balance between mother, protector, trainer, all that.
Yeah, because she doesn't know what to do. You've given a civilian an impossible task, basically.
Yeah, and she did a really amazing job. Sarah Connor is one of my favorite characters.
And she is a very good character. She's a very strong character and an excellent example of a strong female character.
Yeah, and not for the sake of being she's strong, she badass. No, she had to work her ass.
Yeah,
really hard.
She becomes badass, and she becomes it out of necessity, and it doesn't happen overnight. And it's not like poof, she was the chosen one.
Yeah, exactly.
She's just super good.
She has worked for it, and she has earned every step of the way with blood, tears.
Yeah, and she keeps going because if she doesn't, then her son will certainly die.
Yeah.
Even if you want to be like, oh, the idea of protecting all of humanity is such a crazy notion, you couldn't really parse that. It's like, well, she's doing it because she knows her son will be in danger.
Yeah,
and she needs to, she wants to keep him safe and a bit in the dark because she doesn't want to freak him out, but she also needs him to be ready.
Exactly, and she does an amazing job in the series because she's going through that, and also she has to deal with a new Terminator in the family.
Of course.
She has to be sort of like the mother of that Terminator too. It's like,
oh, pretend she doesn't know.
It's like, corn, it's like, oh, I have already one kid, I don't need another one.
Oh my goodness.
And Summer Glau does a really good job of portraying that cold machine character. See?
Desarin says that she is the friend that lives under a rock and doesn't know any of the new media references. It's okay. There's a lot of cases where I don't either, just because a lot of the new stuff doesn't appeal to me. And I think that's okay if it doesn't appeal to you either. So.
That's fine. You like what you like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, you like what you like. You don't like what you don't like. All right, let's have.
Speaking of liking, what do you think about the shoulder?
That's
thingies?
much better. Yee, I like.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's continue. Arms. Tell me.
Yeah. So if you look at the reference sheet,
I have it.
The bottom portions of the arms and the legs, the boots and the gloves part, they're a bit on like the puffier side.
Okay.
They're not like super huge, but they're not skinny. They're a little oversized.
Okay, and I think the arm needs to be thicker too, right?
Yeah, I think it does too. At least towards the top. It looks like, the way that I drew it is it looks like it tapers just a little bit towards the bottom. So you can probably get away with that too.
Yeah, let's do that.
King Greed says, get to the chopper, but put the cookie down now! That just makes me think of the Predator remake that they did where they were like, you remember getting to the chopper, right? And I'm like, yes, I do. I remember get to the chopper.
Well,
was it relevant? No.
You know there's a new Predators movie coming. It's called Prey. And they're doing that thing, oppressed female eats better than anyone else, just because she's female.
That's not how... I want to shake the people who do that. That's not how you make a strong female character. You make them the same way you make a strong male character. You have a character who rises to the occasion because it is necessary and in line with the person they are. Oh my god.
Yeah, and in the trailer it's just like that. It's like, oh, you're afraid of me because I'm a better hunter. It's like, oh, come on.
No! Why would they be afraid of you? They would not be afraid of you.
Yeah, they're Native Americans.
Their entire...
In this case, so a better hunter for the tribe will be a good thing. You know.
King Greed says, I don't know what to say to this movie. I don't know either. That's the first I heard of it. I don't like things where it's like, oh, well, we have to have the girl power, so she'll just be really good and even better than the guy until he realizes his ability, and then he has to protect her. And I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Your female, like, look, I don't know how this, like, a female lead should not exist in the service of your male lead, because now she's a prop. She's not a prop, she's a person. You write her like a person the same way you would a strong male character. The only difference between the two is that if she's a woman, yes, she will face different societal bullshit depending on where she is, because the current modern world isn't very nice to girls.
Or even
and likes to...
in the past, the world wasn't exactly kind to what
exactly.
But but you don't have to do things by tearing down the other gender. It's like you don't have to create a character. Oh, she's female. She's better because she's female, and that male, strong and fast, and she better because she better. No.
Yeah, and then inevitably she softens up and becomes more traditionally feminine because she falls in love with the guy.
Yeah.
And then she's not such a hard ass. And now he's super good and can save her. Like, really? Come on. You wouldn't do that to a male character, would you? You wouldn't have a male character who's super strong until he falls in love with the female lead and then he gets really weak.
Well, imagine if they did that, but with a gay couple. Imagine a big burly guy. Oh, you're my hero. And
then he becomes soft, and you're like, wait a minute, hold on a minute, back up. What?
And
he leaves his new boyfriend very confused.
And all along, he was just a bear. You know?
Oh, Desarin says, it's weird to come back to the movie, but the mother of Sybil in the Silent Hill movie... the mother and Sybil in the Silent Hill movies were good, strong female characters, right? Yeah, they were pretty strong female characters. The only issue I take with them is just like Cheryl or Sharon mom exists specifically because of sexism. And I say that because they quite literally say that the reason that it's her and not Harry Mason is that they, quote, looked at the character of Harry Mason and discovered he was a woman. Because Harry Mason is a soft-spoken, shy guy who is desperately trying to find his daughter, which I guess are not things that men do? And that's where I take issue with that. If it would... Yeah. Dazarin did not know. Oh no. Yeah, if you look up the director's commentary, and I was sitting there with my friend when they were talking about it, just blows my mind.
Because everybody knows that
Bean is in the movie too, because they were like, "Oops, you made everyone a woman."
You know, just because everybody knows that men don't care about their children. You know, they...
Right. Like, what? You think that a father wouldn't run through a horrible hell town and try to save his daughter? Are you on crack? Like, yeah, Dessert is how the hell is Harry soft-spoken for one thing? Yeah, I mean, he's not a super aggressive dude, but when it comes to finding his daughter, he will do what needs to be done. He will walk through a hellscape with a shotgun.
Come on, didn't Liam Neeson do that in like 4 or 5 different movies in the same saga, and then he's doing that in every single other movie that he's in?
Yeah, let me see if I can find that commentary. I want to find the transcript. Hold on a minute. Silent Hill movie. Why is Harry a woman? Let's see what we got.
Okay.
There we go. The Christopher Gans commented that he changed Harry Mason into a woman in his Silent Hill movie because he thought, quote, that a father caring about his daughter was, quote, feminine and unrealistic for a father to do.
What? You know, if I have children, I will care about them.
Yeah. It is entirely due to sexist reasons, and it's disgusting.
What happened to that guy? Did his father abandon him or something?
I don't know. But I guess they wanted... There's this weird theme in the movie that mother is God to children, and they keep repeating that line, and that's why Silent Hill doesn't attack Dahlia Gillespie, and that's why only Cheryl's mother could protect her in the town. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why they went with that, but it would have been much better, I think, if... Let me see. Here's why she's a... Blah, 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 blah. This is just like the commentary. Yeah, Harry is a unique game character for his time in the original Silent Hill because instead of being a tough cop or military type, he's just an ordinary man. He would lose his breath after running for extended periods of time, and his lack of firearm experience meant he could also miss shots when using guns. He was later gender flipped with pitch black star Rita Michaels Rose, with the movie retaining the basic premise of the game, but cherry-picking elements and creatures like Pyramid Head from later titles. The Silent Hill director, Christoph Gans, would also explain why he opted to change Rose to Harry, which to him came back to the qualities that Harry has in the game. Here we go. Here's the quote. Let's see. While answering a fan question in the official Silent Hill blog in 2006 via Silent Hill Memories, Gans claimed that during the early stages of writing the movie, Silent Hill's original main character, Harry Mason, was intended to be the movie's lead. Gans then claims, quote, Harry never acted like a masculine character, and that, quote, he was constantly dizzy, fainting, talking to himself, screaming, and in fact was very vulnerable. The director then stated, quote, we didn't want to betray the nature of the game by changing the character's feelings and motivations, so we felt it was better to change to a female protagonist and retain all those important qualities. While changing Harry to Rita Michaels Rose may have made sense to Gans and his collaborators while making Silent Hill, in hindsight this logic sounds faulty at best. As mentioned, Harry Mason is far from the more macho archetype of classic video game heroes, but while he may be frightened, he never once wavers from his quest to rescue his daughter. It was refreshing to have a protagonist with these qualities, and if anything, it made him more of a hero. It is also very strange to claim that being, quote, dizzy, fainting, and screaming are qualities better suited to a female character, or the implications that audience wouldn't have accepted those qualities in a male character. Ultimately, Rita Michael did fine work as Silent Hill's Rose and carried across the themes of the original Silent Hill games. While fans may have missed Harry, the character being gender flipped 2 rows doesn't really harm the final product, but that being said, it is incredibly disappointing to hear the reasoning behind the changes, which seems to imply that Harry's, quote, vulnerabilities were just better suited for a female protagonist.
Like, what the fuck, man?
King Greed says, I think the director played Silent Hill Shattered Memories and got the slaughter ending. That could have been. Yeah. Oh, Aaron had many things to say while I was reading that article, including parents care about their children. It's not a male or a female thing, it's a parent thing. And in a sense, she says, okay, in a sense, I understand the mother is God thing in a more literal sense. They are the one that literally births the baby and gives them life. Yeah. And the way that our society unfortunately handles parenting, it's just assumed that a mother, a woman, makes a better parent than the father would. And a lot of guys are sort of encouraged to not really be good dads.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's not a male or a female thing. It's a parent thing. Parents are compelled to stay with their children. It's genetic. As a matter of fact,
and
if
it's their responsibility. Come on.
Yeah, it's also considered kind of weird if you don't feel that towards your child when your child is born. If you don't feel a need to protect them and care for them and worry about them, then that's, kind of bad.
Yeah, because you are endangering the life of an infant.
Yeah, and Dezarin says, I still enjoy the movie, and I have no problems that they use the mother instead, but that is a stupid reason. Oh, I completely agree. Again, I have no problem if people enjoy that movie, but the reasoning behind these things do not make sense to me. I don't know why they changed Cheryl to Sharon, unless maybe some actor just had a real hard time pronouncing that name. It doesn't make sense to change it. I don't get why they would put monsters that have nothing to do with the original film in there, other than to be like, extreme fan service. You guys remember Pyramid Head, right? Except that any hardcore fan of Silent Hill will see that and go, okay, that's cool, but why? He's not supposed to be here.
Like, don't you guys play Fortnite or something?
Well, it'd be like if Jason from Friday the 13th walked his way through the set of Alien because their franchises are similar. Or something.
You have not seen Jason X, have you?
I have seen Jason X, and I think that film is hysterical. It has one of my favorite death scenes, which is him beating up the holograms of the bimbo ladies in the sleeping bags. Ow! Ow!
Like, ow!
Huh. Polyfusion Alex says hello and says that would be awesome. having him show up. Well, if it was anything like, with the exception of the end of the movie, of the Silent Hill movie, it'd be like if he just kind of wandered by and stopped and looked at the people as if to say, hey, you remember that I exist, right? And then left. And then showed up randomly at the end and punched a xenomorph. While that scene in of itself would be amazing, it would be such a strange decision to make for a movie.
Yeah, like, Mike Myers has a new TV show called The Pentaverate.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene where Shrek comes in.
Bye-bye, Jazarian!
Oh, take care. Like, he's running away from a monster, the ogre of something. Mm-hmm. And people think that it's just a guy in a costume. And no, it's a real monster. And Mike Myers, it's trying to run away from the monster. And people are, oh, it's the ogre from blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and they play with him, and the monster screams, roar! Everybody runs away. And Mike Myers is like, oh no, I'm cornered. What am I going to do? Then, out of the blue, a guy dressed as Shrek comes out. And with the voice of Shrek, he says, don't worry, laddie, I have this, and punches the ogre in the face.
Oh my god. That's funny.
Yes.
There's times and places for silly things like that, even in a serious movie, but like, if it was supposed to be a serious film and that happened, you'd laugh and then you'd go, wait, what? Shrek is just a hero in that clip, says King Greed. Agreed. But yeah, I that was one of the things that when I heard in the commentary, and then I guess later in this, because I didn't know he typed it out too. I just heard it in the commentary from the film when me and my friend were watching it together. Like, it blew my mind. I'm like, what do you mean? Are you saying that a guy can't care about his children? I'd like to think that if I got abducted in a horrible hell town, that my dad would try to save me. And then they kind of do have her dad trying to save her too, except that he's just Sean Bean wandering around in a town by himself because there were too many women in the movie. The cast was almost exclusively female, and they're like, you have to have a man in here, you know? And he's like, oh, well, I guess I'll just have him wander through the town talking with the cops. But then it just breaks the flow of the movie so much for me. Because it's like, oh my god, the horror, the horror, the horror, Sean Bean. And now we're back to the film. The visuals in there are fantastic, though. The monsters, the recreations of camera angles and scenery from the movie, the transition from the regular world into the nightmare world are fantastic. It's just things like that when you hear them, you feel so disappointed, you know?
Okay, can you take a look at the arms?
Yes.
I went a bit Popeye with them.
I think the upper arm needs to be a little slimmer, but the shape is good.
Sure.
I also like what you did with the little puffy sleeve holes.
Oh yeah, I
That's
did
cute.
some basic wrinkles.
I think that's really cute.
Okay, let's do this.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go in about 10 minutes. I have to have something to eat.
That's okay. I guess we refine this in the last 10 minutes and we call it here.
Yeah.
Because you have to get ready for your stream too.
I do. I have to eat, and then I have to sit down and be like, okay, you can do this.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, the soundtrack in the movie is good also, says Pingrid and Niagara.
Okay. Now let's make it transition a bit more.
Mm-hmm. The Silent Hill games in general have a great soundtrack, to the point that I've actually heard some of the themes being used in podcasts I listen to. I'll be saying, I'm like, this sounds familiar. Hold on a minute, is that Mary's theme from Silent Hill 2? It is.
Okay, how's that?
Let's see. Yeah.
Alright. Tell me.
Oh, I'm sorry. We had a miscommunication. I meant the upper part of her arm that attaches to the shoulder, not the
Oh,
upper part
okay.
of the glove.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
The arm, not the forearm. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries.
I made a mistake.
Ooh. How about there? And
You know, it would probably help if I was looking at the one in real time and not the delayed stream one. I keep doing that. I keep minimizing the wrong screen. I'm gonna put this over the top of the one that's on the stream. That way I can't. That way I will see it.
okay, so how's that?
Let's see here. Let's compare. Yes, that is much better.
Alright.
If I were drawing it, I'd probably make them thinner, but I also have to take into account that this will be printed, and if I make them toothpick thin, her arm is just gonna fall off.
Yeah. You need
So yeah,
a bit
like
of
that is
thickness.
perfect.
Yeah.
So like that is perfect.
Okay,
right there.
let's go with the legs.
So the
Upper leg,
it's
the
just-
thighs.
All right, let's look at that. Why did I close that image? That's silly of me to do. I still need to look. Yeah, Polyfusion Alex says, 3D print limitations. Yep. Okay, the thickness
Well,
of the leg.
it's not a 3D printing limitation, it's a physical limitation.
Yeah, it's a limitation of physics where if it's big and heavy and attached by a string, it will fall off.
Yeah.
Let's see. The upper portion of the leg, the part that's not in the boots, look good.
Okie dokie.
Had them tapering a bit, but for the sake of physics, I think that they are fine as is. I do not want it. I do not want her legs to fall off.
Blink.
You made it for tiny. But the boots could be poofier.
Sure.
They're a nice curved, like a marshmallow.
Okay. Give me a second to pull the reference. Yes. Okay, I see it here. So, first thing first, the curve needs to be a bit more pronounced. I see.
She's got those little cute bow legs.
Oh, I forgot to separate that. Okay, I can do that. Let's see. No, we need more. So 600. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. I'm just gonna separate the top donut.
Ah, yes, the knee donut.
Okay, so now I'll work on that next. First, I'm gonna work on this. Okay, so no worries about the star. I'll fix it later.
Oh yeah, I can just scoot that back.
Okay, so it's a bit more on the thickness side, and this here it's a bit smaller because it tapers.
Yeah. Just like that. It's a nice big poofy marshmallow shoe.
Okay, from the side, let's see how it looks. Okay, so we have the front that it's sort of straight.
Yeah, and then it's got a little bit of a stick out on the heel part.
Yeah, it's the tibial bone that makes this thing straighter.
What kind of horrible skeleton this creature would have? Probably wouldn't. It probably just have a lot of cartilage.
Like a shark.
Yeah. I think we both said that almost at the exact same time. A shark.
Yeah, you have influenced me over time, you know.
Having fun with learning biology, or some biology, sure leads to a lot of interesting creative decisions.
Oh yeah, and some terrible life choices.
Well, yeah, but you know.
No, I don't. What you mean?
I don't know what you're trying to infer.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with my weird biology degree, shut up.
Nothing wrong with a craptoid biologist degree hanging in the background. You know, it's like I like the cryptozoology and stuff because I would like to think that the world is bigger than we know. But at the same time, there's so much bullshit.
Oh yeah, well there's some where you can be like, oh well maybe, you know, maybe something like Bigfoot does exist. Maybe that's like a funky kind of ape we don't know about. But then you see other ones where it's like it's a mysterious pair of walking pants, and you're like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, but come on, give me something that is plausible, at least.
They're like pants. They're like, yeah, we call them the walkers because that's what they do. Like,
You mean like the potato chip bags, the walkers?
yeah. They look like just a pair of wandering pants. Where is that thing?
Yeah, actually, that's a thing that happened in actually the next town to mine, where I was born. And it even was on the side where I lived. Because there's
it's the Fresno Nightcrawler.
There's a road that connects those two cities, and it's a really bad road. It's an old one with lots of sharp corners and terrible lights, really bad. And there's reports that they have seen walking legs. Like imagine a human person walking and just get rid of the top and just from waist down.
Yeah, that actually sounds exactly like the Fresno Walker. That's just what they look like. They just look like a pair of disembodied legs.
Yeah, but
Let me get a good picture. Well, good picture is not. Let's get the image link.
and that's always the problem with these things. It's like getting a good picture that, yeah, this one casts no doubt about what it is, and yeah, that's the
Yeah. So this is. I'll send this to you on Discord. But this is the picture I just linked in chat. That is the original security footage of the Fresno Walker,
let's see it.
or the Fresno Crawler, rather. It's just.
Well, it doesn't crawl; it just walks. Yeah.
It just wanders. It is pants. It is power of pants.
Okay.
And the security footage shows like a taller one and then a smaller one, almost like parent and child, just kind of meandering down a hill together. To me, that just seems like a prank. It really feels like it was probably a prank.
Come
but it's
on,
still
boy,
kind of
we have to stretch our legs. Let's go see the humans.
Like there's some that like seem kind of creepy and slightly plausible, and like it's some unidentified animal like the chupacabra or Bigfoot or the Jersey Devil. But then you get the Fresno Crawler, and you're like, pants? And they're like, yes, his pants. And then you feel a little sillier. Then you hear about Melon Head, and you're like, oh, okay.
And then you
Slightly
think,
disappointed
yeah,
his head is not a watermelon.
You think that, yeah, that was a poor guy that had some kind of deformity.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. If there's any truth to it, it's just like it's a creature with a big, poofy, round head, almost like a big melon. Hence the name Melon Head. And you're like, I feel like if this is anything, it's maybe something really mean.
Yeah, I have seen some people that had severe deformities, and
Yeah.
I can tell you, I saw them when I was a kid, and they had a big impact on me. It's like first thing you think, oh, that's a monster.
Yeah. It's a shame, but
because
it's
you're a kid
understandable.
and you don't know.
Yeah, and you don't know. Yeah, and all you've got is the human instinct of, I don't know what that is. My fear will protect me, because it did.
Yeah.
The human being who is going to run away from the thing that it doesn't know is more likely to survive than the one who doesn't, on the off chance that that is actually something dangerous.
Yeah, imagine if one of the first humans saw a saber-tooth. Oh, kitty, kitty.
Yeah, whoever
Chomp.
went over to pet it because they thought it was cute died, and the one who went, "Oh God, I'm running," is the one that lived.
Yeah.
So, it's sad, but it's also understandable that a child would maybe be frightened, or just an adult would be frightened. It's just
because some of them that are in really bad stages of, they even have dementia, or really impaired cognitive capabilities.
Yeah,
they scream a lot and they make noises that you barely could consider human.
Yeah, and it makes people nervous. And again, that reaction's understandable. It's just that, as
but that's the reaction of someone that doesn't know the whole story.
And so as a more evolved creature, it's part of being human is also understanding. So while having the initial reaction of feeling uncomfortable or scared or even sickened in some cases, that is a normal biological response. However, from that point on, you gotta be responsible and not an asshole. So, like, there's a difference between in the back of your mind going, "Oh my God," and out loud going, "Oh my God." One of those things is not going to have a good reaction, and the other
because one lacks empathy.
Yeah,
and that's what it's all about, caring about other humans.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Because you can be surprised, you can be shocked, because you may have never seen that in your life before.
Yeah, and you may make a mistake and say or do something, but it's all about having empathy and owning up when you've made a mistake. And I think that that's really all you can ask from somebody. But it's the sad thing that in some of these cases, the answer to the origin of the cryptid is probably a human being or an animal that was ill in some way.
Yeah,
and that's too bad. But I suppose on the one hand, we could take it to be like, it's pretty fascinating. The kinds of interesting things the human mind can come up with when it sees something briefly that freaks it out.
Yeah, it's like one of the theories behind Roswell,
Hmm.
that the saucer crash and that they were bodies inside. One that struck me as, yeah, this is so sad it could be true.
Hmm.
That they used really sick children, sick with progenia, and they put them into the into the craft just to test the crash. It's like, that sounds so cruel. I could believe it.
That, yeah, thankfully, that does not seem to be something that would have occurred. From the looks of from all the research of various people into Roswell, it seems that the answer to that is that it was either an experimental craft
Yeah.
that obviously the government would not want to go, oh, don't worry, it was just a secret military test, or it really was a weather balloon or some other kind of probe.
Or something.
Or something. It does not appear to be a ship, and it's just a case of the government not really telling people it wasn't, because it's better than having to sit down and explain why you were trying to fly a fancy weather balloon up into the atmosphere. Because we maybe don't want to tell people why we're doing that.
Okay, take a look, please.
Okay, let's have a look. Ooh, yes.
How's the silhouette for the legs now?
There's the chunky feet. I like it.
Okay, we'll call it here. I think we made some really good progress today. We refined, we added more.
I think we did.
And next time it's details and color.
Yeah.
Well, maybe posts and details later.
Yeah, we'll see what we do next time. I think it's coming out super good. She looks so good.
I can't wait to have her printed and shipped to you.
Oh my god, I'll have her sitting on my table. It'd be so cool. I will take so many photos. Going in the portfolio.
Oh, you have to. You have to.
I have to. Well, I mean, I am obligated. That is the whole reason that we made our deal in the first place. We collaborated. This is for both of our benefits from a portfolio standpoint.
Yes.
So, if I didn't do that, I'd be a little liar, and that's no good. Nobody wants to hang out with somebody who just lies and gets free shit.
I mean, if I can get free shit too, okay. Yeah, lie all you want, right?
That's why it has to be mutually beneficial. It can't just be like, oh, don't worry, I'll put this in here and it'll have your name on it, and you can do that and it'll have your name on it, and then be like, haha, what he doesn't know is that I'm not going to do that.
Oh no, what a twist.
I'm going to tell them I did it. And then be caught lying immediately, because they'll be like, cool, can you make another one? And they'll be like, no.
Okay, so now you have to, before you go, you have to post all your socials, tell everyone where to find you.
Yes, I'll put all the socials, and I will also put my Twitch, because later tonight.
Exactly.
How many 8 p.m.
How many hours from now?
Let's see. It's almost 6 o'clock, so it'll be about 2 hours.
2 hours.
Time.
Okay.
And I will be streaming from for about 2 hours. And I debated about which game to do, because I actually got some requests for Darkest Dungeon, but I think I'm going to start off with Lemon Cake, because it's pretty chill, and that way it won't be a big deal if we have any kerfuffles. Because like I've said before, this is the first time streaming in a very long time. So if something goes awry, well, it'll be okay.
Or you can always just go back to Genshin,
Yeah, I could do some Genshin if people like, hey, if there's something you want to see me do.
Well, I would like to see you do something specifically.
Yeah.
I would like to see you play some Metal Gear Racing.
Well, there are some kinds of games that Alex is not good at, and that is one of them. All Kingreed says he'll be asleep. That's okay. I do plan to put some of those on my YouTube, so we should have that without not be a big deal. All right, there we go. Here's my streaming info. Let's put that down here. Twitch. A boo. There it is.
Nice. So everybody, just go follow her. Not like stalkers. I know you don't do that. Do it in the proper way, the way that it's socially acceptable.
Oh, I did not put the link to my comic in there. I put my Tumblr by accident. Oopie. Hold on, I'll get that.
Come on, paste it.
Oopity oop. Here it is. Actually updated it.
Ooh. So now you guys have one more reason to check it out.
There's one new page. And as soon as I posted it, I immediately thought of the meme of, "We've been trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty," and then I laughed. It's supposed to be a scary and intense page, but that is what I thought of, and then went, "Wow, okay, Alex."
Well, imagine if you get a call in the middle of the night. Yeah, we're trying to call you about your car's warranty. What car?
If a gigantic, oh god, 10-foot tall centipede with 2 sets of human teeth came into my house and told me that they wanted to talk about my car's extended warranty, I don't know how I would react to that. I think I would have a series of crises. Some very existential crises right then. I would have a lot of things to contend with in that moment, I think.
You would tell to the centipede, can you give me a minute?
I'm sorry, give me a moment. I have to scream. Okay, what? My car has a warranty?
Do I have a car?
They'd be like, yes. And be like, that is news to me. I did not know that. Please discuss it with me. Also, don't eat me.
It's like, wait, hold on. Is this the number 23? No, this is the 25.
Oh, I need to go talk to your neighbor. Thanks, bye.
Yeah, but wait, is your name this? Yes. Oh, yeah, you're on our murder list. Yeah, so, okay. So, going with that.
Okay, bye. Please don't eat me. Haha, we don't eat you. Oh, unless you say you don't want our coverage. Ha no.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go so you can have some nutrition.
Yep, gotta get some food.
I'll see you guys back on Monday with more miniatures.
Yay!
Because I got some feedback on the mini that I was working on Monday from the concept artist of Mistborn.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. So I just asked him, can you give me some feedback on this? And he did a quick overpaint, and it looks really good.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, it's good to have friends.
Congrats. Well, yes. It's always good to have friends. But yeah, you guys have a good night, and thank you so much for stopping by. I look forward to seeing everybody next Friday, and anybody who comes to my stream tonight will also make me very happy. And if you can't because you have to sleep, that is also fine. Don't feel obligated. Sleep is important.
Well,
it's very bad to not sleep.
Take care, everyone.
Good night, everybody.